Apple has tried to ignore foldable phones for years. While everyone else rushed them out, Apple just waited. And now, finally, it looks like we know why. Because in 2026, Apple isn't just launching another iPhone. They're about to launch their weirdest, boldest, and most controversial one yet, the iPhone Fold. And the leaks around this thing are kind of wild. Let's start with the form factor because this is not Apple copying what Samsung already does. The iPhone Fold doesn't open like a book. Instead, it folds more like a wallet. When it's shut, it looks closer to a normal phone, just a bit wider. When you open it up, it turns into something that's almost iPad mini-sized. It's clearly designed to feel like an iPhone first, tablet second, not the other way around. Based on early mock-ups, even folded shut, it's wider than a Pro Max, but once you open it up, the difference becomes obvious. Apple's basically aiming for a device you can comfortably use one-handed when closed, and then fully switch into productivity or media mode when opened. Very Apple. The screens themselves are also a big giveaway of what Apple's thinking here. On the outside, you're looking at around a 5.5-inch display. If that number sounds familiar, it should. That's the exact size Apple used back in the Plus-era iPhones like the 6 Plus and 8 Plus. Comfortable, usable, and not trying to be flashy. But the magic is inside. Open it up and you're getting a display just under 8 inches, roughly 7.8 to 8 inches, depending on the final tuning. That's basically iPad mini territory. So instead of juggling a phone and a small tablet, Apple wants this to be both. Now here's the part Apple has been obsessing over for years: the crease. Or rather, the lack of one. According to multiple leaks, Apple has developed a new hinge system that uses a liquid or hydraulic-style mechanism to distribute pressure evenly across the display. The goal is simple: no visible crease, no dip when you run your finger across the screen, and no reminder that this thing folds at all. This is apparently the main reason Apple showed up so late to the foldable party. They refused to ship a product with an obvious crease, and they've been working closely with Samsung Display to finally crack it. If this works the way leaks suggest, it could instantly make other foldables feel outdated. The materials back this up too. The frame is expected to be titanium, not aluminum. That helps keep it thin, rigid, and premium. Folded up, the phone should be around 12 millimeters thick, which sounds chunky until you remember this is Apple's first foldable. Open it up and you're looking at roughly 6 millimeters, which is impressively slim for something that literally bends in half. Interestingly, you might have noticed something missing from the renders: Face ID. That's because it looks like Apple is ditching it entirely on this model. Instead, Touch ID is making a comeback, built directly into the side power button. And honestly, this makes a ton of sense. Whether the phone is open or closed, your fingerprint is always accessible. No awkward camera angles, no Face ID compromises. If you're someone who's been begging Apple to bring Touch ID back, this might be the phone that finally does it right. Camera-wise, this isn't going to be an Ultra Pro Max monster, and that's intentional. You're getting 4 cameras in total. One selfie camera on the outer display, another on the inside screen, and then 2 cameras on the back. Most likely a wide and an ultra-wide. No telephoto. This phone isn't built to replace a Pro Max for photography. It's more like a digital notebook, a mini workstation, an iPad you can fold into your pocket. The cameras will still be good, but they're not the headline feature here. Battery life, on the other hand, is a huge focus. Apple is reportedly moving to high-density solid-state or carbon-based batteries for this phone. These pack more capacity into less space, which is crucial when you're dealing with 2 displays and a hinge. Total capacity is expected to land somewhere around 5,300 to 5,500 milliamp hours, split across both halves of the phone. Pair that with a new chip, and things get even better. Inside, the iPhone Fold is expected to run the A20 Pro, the same chip coming to the iPhone 18 Pro lineup. Built on a 2-nanometer process, this thing should be faster, cooler, and significantly more power efficient than what we have today. That efficiency is going to matter a lot on a foldable. Connectivity is getting upgrades too. You're looking at Apple's next-gen modem chip, along with the latest networking silicon that supports Wi-Fi 7 and improved 5G performance. And yes, satellite connectivity is also expected to be built in. That means messaging, data access, and emergency connectivity even when you're nowhere near a signal. Don't expect Netflix streaming from the middle of a desert, but basic connectivity anywhere on Earth is kind of a big deal. So when is all this actually happening? Right now, everything points to a 2026 launch, most likely alongside the iPhone 18 lineup in September. And the price, yeah, this is where it gets serious. The base model is expected to start around $2,000, probably with 256 gigabytes of storage. If Apple offers higher tiers like 1 terabyte or even 2 terabytes, prices could easily climb to $2,700 or even close to $3,000. This is not a mass-market iPhone. This is Apple testing the future. So the real question is, would you actually buy one? Is a foldable iPhone the next evolution, or is it just an insanely expensive experiment? Either way, one thing's clear. Apple didn't rush this. And if the leaks are even half right, the iPhone Fold could completely reset what we expect from foldable phones. Let me know what you think. And if you want to stay ahead of everything Apple's working on next, you know what to do. I'll catch you in the next one.